Hello everyone, welcome to Cinema Magic. Be sure to hit that like button and subscribe button as we recap the 2017 crime thriller movie titled I Am Elizabeth Smart, directed by Sarah Walker. At the start of the film, a peaceful glimpse into Elizabeth's life before it is abruptly plunged into chaos is instantly captivated by the thrilling action that is unfolding. Elizabeth is shown full of energy and vivacity, with both intelligence and a desire to accomplish things. She enjoys spending time with her family and friends, playing the harp, and performing well in school. Ed and Lois Smart's bond with their children is very strong. When all of them are together at their house, the atmosphere is filled with an abundance of love and joy. When the story initially starts, there are a few moments when the environment is calm, will enable the incredible series of events that are about to unfold. On that fateful evening, a series of unfortunate events occurred in the magnificent house, shattering the previously peaceful mood. Hi, my name is Brian. David Mitchell sneaks into the couple's home and declares that he has some bad information to share with them. While Elizabeth and her younger sister Mary Catherine are sleeping quietly, an intruder slips into the room via a window carrying a knife. He executes the act silently. Almost immediately, Mary Catherine is met with a terrifying sight. Elizabeth is certain that she is being held against her will by an unknown individual who is hazardous to her health and poses a danger to her safety. He uses the argument that she would profit from following him on his trips to coerce her into joining him. Mary Catherine believes that pretending to be sleeping is a reasonable way to escape difficulty. In addition to praying for her sister's health and happiness, she expresses genuine worry for her sister's well-being and safety. Mitchell leads Elizabeth to a distant spot where his wife, Wanda Barzee, eagerly awaits her arrival with arms wide open. Mitchell successfully persuades Elizabeth to join him on a trip into the surrounding woods during their time together. After considerable debate, Mitchell decides that Elizabeth deserves to be escorted to the vacation location. The flame is shown as being fierce and plain, representing the difficult and severe conditions that led to Elizabeth's confinement. This certainly shows that Elizabeth is confined in some way. Mitchell has concluded that Elizabeth is now his wife, and he eagerly awaits the moment when she recognizes his power. Throughout the novel, the main guy represents himself as a prophet on a sacred mission. He views Elizabeth's abduction to be an integral component of his delusional plan. He continually refers to himself as a messenger, which is compatible with his ideals. The film's riveting depiction of Elizabeth's struggle to accept the horrible reality of her predicament portrays the depth of her sadness and uncertainty. Her experiences are quite terrifying and upsetting. Elizabeth undergoes a considerable degree of emotional and bodily agony during her captivity, and she continues to do so until she realizes she is free. Mitchell and Barzee have a tight hold over her, and it is quite likely that they will continue to exert control and dominance over her in the future. Elizabeth is being handled in a really nasty and insulting way. The main character is exposed to a series of sexual assaults, is denied of proper food, and is held in a dirty and overcrowded environment. Elizabeth is the victim of a series of cruel and horrific acts done against her. Her freedom is constantly eroded since she is either locked within the hut or restrained by being tethered to a tree. This is a continual occurrence. She has reached the point where she cannot leave her existing circumstances. Mitchell's misguided actions and distorted mindset created a very explosive and dangerous circumstance. Barzee unquestionably follows Mitchell's lead and actively participates in bad behavior against Mitchell throughout the talk. Despite her current struggles, Elizabeth finds consolation in the strength of her religious convictions and the treasured time she has had with those she loves about. This film does a wonderful job of conveying the main character's mental anguish and her strong desire to reunite with her family. Regardless of the difficulties she experiences, Elizabeth never gives up on her prayers and maintains a strong faith in God. This demonstrates her resilience as well as her will to overcome these adversities. She is unwavering in her dedication to achieving her objectives, and her determination is really exceptional. Her unwavering faith is ultimately what saves her, giving her the strength to endure months of misery and suffering that she could not bear. She is unwavering in her determination to stand firm on her principles. Throughout the film, a thorough study of Elizabeth's psychological manipulation is conducted. To accomplish his aim of gaining control and increasing her participation, Mitchell adopts a variety of forceful approaches. The film underlines the potential negative consequences for her loved ones if she sought to depart the situation without their permission. Elizabeth feels trapped in an endless circle of suffering, with little hope that she would ever be able to escape her current predicament. The video accurately depicts the problems she faced throughout her captivity, with a focus on her protracted incarceration and psychological manipulation. As a consequence, she found herself in a really bad situation. Hey guys, if you're enjoying this movie so far, hit the like and subscribe button to catch all our future movie summaries. Trust me, you don't want to miss what's coming next. During her time behind bars, Elizabeth was faced with a series of situations that may have led to her death. She is split between avoiding detention and devising a plan to escape the situation. The way the events are depicted evokes strong emotions in me. Mitchell decides to bring Elizabeth to Salt Lake City in order to satisfy some more obligations. Elizabeth attempts to disguise her true identity by wearing a robe and hood, but she is unable to avoid the multiple signs that she has vanished, as well as the media's constant attention to her unexpected departure. Despite the fact that she is free to do anything she wants, she has made a deliberate effort to maintain a calm and respectful demeanor. Mitchell's threats against her have prompted her to be very concerned and confused about the situation's possible repercussions. At a critical moment, the three individuals come into touch with a law enforcement officer in a public place, resulting in yet another significant incident. As a result, this event must take place at any costs. Despite the fact that the persons are being questioned by the police, Mitchell's cool manner and ability to effectively lie leave no reason for suspicion. Elizabeth decides not to express her ideas because she is worried about the potential implications. The stories provided in this issue shed light on Mitchell's enormous influence on her mental health, as well as her constant concern for the health and safety of her mother and siblings. The video clearly shows that Elizabeth's family and the community as a whole are determined to find her. The Smart family is on a never-ending hunt for their missing family member in the hopes of finding them. They are looking everywhere for help and contacting anybody they can think of. Individuals gather information via a variety of means, including the distribution of pamphlets, the organizing of press conferences, and maintaining constant contact with law enforcement. The media focused heavily on Elizabeth's disappearance, ensuring that it would remain a topic of conversation. This was evident from the outset, and it was going to happen. Nonetheless, despite the fact that the research has garnered a significant lot of attention, there are still many questions that have not been answered and must be addressed. Nonetheless, despite the large number of reports and recommendations that have been received, none of them have provided any clues that may lead to Elizabeth's safe return. As a result, the family's stress and discontent are exacerbated. Elizabeth's unwavering desire and longing have been increasingly obvious throughout the months since the beginning of this phase. As the story develops, the main character undergoes a variety of transformations. Throughout the story, she improves her ability to navigate the various situations she finds herself in. In addition, she modifies her conduct to avoid more negative consequences. She exhibits her exceptional brain and incredible athletic talents as she navigates the difficult and time-consuming obstacle course. This film demonstrates her survival plan, with her cheerfully complying with Mitchell's requests throughout the tale. Her compliance with this request is not a sign of surrender. Rather, it is a strategy for preserving her own life and the safety of her family. This theme is reiterated many times throughout the film. Despite the fact that the situation in the mountains is severe at the present, it is expected to become even more difficult as winter approaches. Elizabeth must face the painful truth of her situation. She is shivering, has little nourishment, and is dressed inappropriately. Mitchell's anxiety and disquiet have grown significantly as a consequence of her unusual behavior. Even when presented with difficult conditions, Elizabeth maintains her faith and a positive attitude. She does not stop praying, and she finds comfort in the firm belief that she will be rescued at any time. In March 2003, the main character had a watershed moment in their life. They are held prisoner for 9 months, which is a really taxing situation. Mitchell has concluded that the camping area should be moved to a more acceptable place. He believes that blending in with the regular populace would make it much easier for them to avoid detection by the police. Following his transfer to Sandy, Utah, Mitchell invites Elizabeth and Barzy to visit him at his home. To fool people and disguise her true identity, Elizabeth always wears a robe and a hood. She can still hide her traces. During a couple's stay in Sandy, they become increasingly concerned about their surroundings after they witness an unusual gathering of 3 people. Elizabeth is well known in the community since she is the subject of several missing persons alerts sent across the area. Since dialing the police number, they wasted no time in phoning them and quickly alerted them to her whereabouts. The authorities acted quickly and effectively to rescue Elizabeth. The tension that arises as a consequence of the police officers approaching Mitchell, Barzy, and Elizabeth and disclosing their true identities is well conveyed in the film. People are overtaken with a broad variety of overwhelming emotions when they allow themselves to examine this site. Within the opening few chapters of the novel, Mitchell and Barzy are accosted by members of the police force. Elizabeth was kidnapped for 9 months and tortured beyond belief before being released. Toward the end of the film, there is a scene that is both soothing and heartbreaking. In this scene, Elizabeth is overjoyed to be reunited with her family. The Smart family is overjoyed and relieved as they warmly welcome Elizabeth back into their home and embrace her with delight. They're pleased and relieved. As soon as she returns, everyone has an overwhelming sensation of delight and fulfillment. Throughout the film, Elizabeth's life is gradually rebuilt, and the film illustrates her route to recovery as she goes through the process. Her determination and resilience are on full show throughout the video, as she progresses through the various stages of the surgery. Elizabeth is obviously engaged and dedicated to the rehabilitation process, despite the fact that her recovery journey is just beginning. The book's final chapters highlight Elizabeth's unwavering resolve and tenacity in the face of hardship. She passionately recounts her ordeal, drawing attention to the issue of abduction and advocating for the rights of those who have been attacked by this phenomena. She is a bright example of the power of faith, family, and personal grit to overcome adversity, and she is a beacon of hope and unwavering resolve. Her level of intelligence and drive are just extraordinary. Hope and bravery have the capacity to transform a person into a formidable force, and Elizabeth's life is a gripping example of how this might occur. So, how was the movie? I hope you guys like it. Who was your favorite character from this movie? Let us know in the comments section. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the like button.